Hello, students, friends, colleagues, C# learners, YouTube crowd. This is Dr. Satish Singhal, PhD, currently with Rose State College in Midwest City, Oklahoma, soon going to California. I'm going to talk about, in this video, C# math class methods. So what are math class methods? Well, C# has a class called math, and it has static methods that can be used for all kind of mathematical calculations. Details of that are described in my ebook chapter that students of mine have a copy of. So really you're supposed to read this chapter 3 on arithmetical expression type and type conversion before you watch this video. That is required. So please don't be sloppy about reading. You got to do all your readings to get the most out of the video. And this C# methods are on page 43 and onwards. C# math class methods are page 43 and onwards. Please read rest of the chapter. Once again, I appeal to you, don't be sloppy about reading. Do your reading, okay? Thank you. So I'm going to use an environment online called compileonline.com to show you some of the C# math class methods which are used for computations. And I'm just gonna cherry pick some of them. So like abs will be called as Math.Abs, and I'm gonna go to compileonline.com to show you how that is used. We will not take user input in the examples I'm going to show you. That's not a major limitation once you have learned how to take user input. Adding that to your program is a trivial matter. It's not a matter of life and death to add user input. Okay, it's very simple. So just understand that going from hard-coded demonstration to taking user input is a trivial step. It's not a very difficult step. Okay, let's go to compileonline.com, and I'm going to use some of these methods. I will not use all of them. So what you do is, in order to access this, you don't have to access this. You can do this in Visual Studio. Use of Visual Studio I have already shown. But really, basically, you can go to compileonline.com if you want to see in the bigger print what that is. I'll copy and paste that here. That's what it is. Compileonline.com. And that works pretty good actually in a lot of cases. And then I want to find out C#. So click here. And this is already set up for reading from a file, which I don't want to do. So I'll delete that using IO. And C# program has a class, then a main method inside. Main starts with uppercase M. Don't really want to read the file, so I'll delete all that. So I fill out my code here. So as we saw that, let's go to preview. Abs method returns the absolute value of a number, and this prem could be integer, double, or any type, any numeric type. Okay. So what we should do here is, let's say you do double type. Everybody does int type. I'm just going to do double value equal to, syntax for calling the abs method is math.abs. Okay, it's located in math class, Math.Abs. And for that, you don't need to include anything. Don't need to do using. That's automatically added. So let's say I say minus 10.5 and semicolon. Each C# statement ends with a semicolon. So you know it was minus. So what will be absolute value? Let's print that. And printing is done by console dot write line. And I just copy and paste this value here. And then you just click on this compile and execute. If you do in Visual Studio, it'll work out exactly the same way. But I'm working on Mac right now, so don't have the Visual Studio. So that's why I'm using this compileonline.com. And click here and notice that we got 10.5. So abs method, when its argument is a -1, just throws away the negative and gives you the positive value. You can also think of this that if it's negative, it just multiplies by -1. But if it's not negative, if it's positive, then it doesn't do anything. Returns exactly as it is. Okay. This is like example of one argument method. We'll show you a couple more. Another one is called ceiling. Math.Ceiling. And its description in my notes are given right here. So you can pass it a floating point value, float double, and it will return the smallest, no, sorry. Ceiling means next large value. So you will see that when we apply it. So if I have a number, let's say 10.5 is not a bad idea, or 10.02 maybe. So this gets rounded to 11 when passed to ceiling function or method. Okay, you guys are used to method. I can enlarge this a little bit so you can see it a little better. Okay, that works. So I'm gonna write here double ceil value equal to math.ceiling, pass it 10.02, and then we print it using console.writeLine. So I can just kind of copy and paste that. Okay, so earlier we saw output 10.5. We can just comment that out because I don't want this anymore. Just want to show you only the ceiling function method. So compile and execute. And can you see this time we see 11? Okay. Because 10.02 will be rounded to a double type 11. The reason we don't see 0.00 because we have not asked system to do that. You can do that by toString and 2. If we do that, then you'll see 11.00. Okay, somehow that didn't work. Should have worked. Okay, so yeah, in Visual Studio it does work actually. So we'll just stick to that then. Yeah, it does. This is on a base called Mono compiler, so all the features of Visual Studio may not be there. We just have to live with that. Now if you want the floor value, that will be 10. If we pass to a function called method called floor, it will just drop it down to previous whole number. Ceiling raise it to the next whole number. Floor drops it down to the previous whole number. So we can say double floor val math.floor and pass it 10.02, or you can pass 10.5, whatever, doesn't really matter. And then you can add that, but this time we print the floor val, and then we should get 10, right? And lo and behold, we do get 10. Okay. All right. These are some of the functions, methods that take one argument using the math class functions. Now we're going to show you something which takes two arguments. One of them is power function, POW. So demo math.pow. All C# functions methods start with uppercase. Takes two arguments, base and exponent. Okay, and this is described here in my ebook. You're required to learn all these, use of all these, although assignments won't require use of all of them, but you should learn all of those if you really want to be a programmer. So it takes two, a double type, and returns a to the power b. So it's going to return a to the power b, and it's a double type also. Okay. So again, I'm not going to take user input. I'll just take double base equal to 2.1 double exponent. Let's say we want to the power 3.01 of 2.1. So that should be more than 8, because if we took to the power 3, that'll be 8. But this is more than 2, and this is more than 3. So we should get something more than 8. So it will return a double type. Let's call it power value equal to math dot uppercase POW. One change C# made was that they made beginning of each function or method in uppercase. So we've typed the base here, and expo. Looks like base is a reserved word, so I'll make it base 1. I don't want to use the reserved word actually. Yeah, that was a problem in past. So you cannot use a variable name that is in blue. So that's why we have to change that. And then we just do console or write line. This is power val. And we already said it should be more than 8. And it will be. We compile and execute. And we got 9 point this. Now decimal formatting can be done. I don't know if this environment will do it or not, but it can be done. I've shown that for currency in the previous video. I will try it here. Hopefully it may or may not work. We don't know. I'll just try that. So the way to do that would be you put a format string in the front, comma, and the format string is really this 0 colon 0.00, and once again it may not work. So really we are saying that format this to 2 decimal points, like this one here. Okay, and we'll try if that works, otherwise we won't worry about that. Yeah, actually did. See? If I put one more 0, it'll do 3 decimal places. Okay. That one didn't work. Yeah, it worked now. Sometimes it requires clicking twice. If I put 4 decimal places, it will do 4. I may have to click here twice. Yeah, it did 4. If I do 5, it will do 5. Now it came 32997. If I do 6, it'll do 6. Yeah, 6, 6. So you can control number of decimal points displayed by giving the format string for the decimal points. First 0 means the first very zeroth argument. Again, I'm a stickler for the fact that counting in computer science starts with 0, not with 1. So please don't forget that. So this is the zeroth argument, so I have to put a 0 here, and that's the colon and then the format string. Okay. Actually, forget about that. Oh, okay, undo is bad here. So I'm going to delete all that one more time. 0 point, as many zeros as you want. I'll show you that many zeros. So now it's 3, 4. Okay. So I've shown you some of the methods of math class like abs, ceiling, floor. I want to show round also, by the way. Round is a very important method. You'll use that in many different ways. So I'm just going to use round with this power valve and show you what that comes out. So double rounded val equal to math dot uppercase round power val, and then print. And this time I'm not going to use the format string because it's already rounded, so I don't have to worry about it. And I'm just going to comment this out because I don't want to show that one. This value I don't want to show. So notice it was 9 point something. So it got rounded to 9. But let me just comment that in so you can see both. So unrounded was 9.32. Rounded is 9. Actually 9.0. It doesn't show the decimal because we have not done that. So round will just throw away the decimalized. Well, actually, let's do a 9.5. Let's see what that rounds to. Oh, I'm sorry. I should write here. 9.5. Yeah, that's a mistake. Rounded well. Still wrong. Okay, can you see? 9.5 got rounded to 10. So that's what round does. If part in decimal is 0.5 or more, it will up round it just like ceiling does. But if it's less than that, okay, don't want that here. Let's say it's 9.49. That, let's try that. 9.49. Yeah, that got rounded down. So if decimal part is 0.5 or more, it will do just like what ceiling does. It will up round it. But if it is less than 0.5, it will down round it like floor does. Okay? So this behavior of round is very important to know how it does that. Okay? My mantra, advice in this class or any other class is, do not be just a viewer. Be a doer. Go, anything I have done here, go do it yourself. Let me type that down for you. Do not just be a viewer. Be a doer. Do everything that I do. Just because I have done it doesn't mean you have done it. Okay? You need to do it for yourself. I'm not going to be there solving your problem when you go to work. You are the one who will do it. So don't just be a viewer, be a doer. Do all these things I've done here yourself, plus some more. You might be interested in other problems that using absolute method or ceiling or floor or power or round method. So check them out. All right. So once again, this is Dr. Singhal. I finished some discussion of math class methods in C#. Other details are in my notes here. You need to read them and do them. Be a doer that as well, there as well. Okay? Thanks. Bye from Dr. Satish Singhal.